Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So instead of doing my own review for Dynasty Warriors Origins, what I'm thinking about is doing a reaction to other people's reviews. So I have a couple reviews here that I do want to go ahead and react to. First one being from DhaNi Infinity. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, I just wanted to say, I'm impressed with your skills.
Hello everyone, I'm so excited to talk about Dynasty Warriors Origins, the latest title in the iconic Dynasty Warriors series that was released on January 17th, 2025.
And out of their reach.
Let me just first off by saying I absolutely agree. Iconic series. This is by far, my opinion, the best Dynasty Warriors they have released. Does have a couple issues here and there, but phenomenal overall.
If you're a fan of the series or just love action-packed, historical hack-and-slash games, this one might just be right up your alley.
It looks like the enemy is gone.
After a 7-year hiatus, this title marks a return to the epic battles and iconic characters we've all come to love, but with some exciting new twists. Before we dive in,
Has it really been 7 years? Yeah. Yeah, actually it has been. 2018. Dynasty Warriors 9 released in 2018. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
into the nitty-gritty of the game, I want to take a moment to remind you, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I'm always posting new reviews, gameplay tips, and everything gaming related, so you won't want to miss out on the latest content. Now let's get in.
This is where I'm going to do a plug-in. Absolutely, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can go ahead and grow this channel. Also, while you're at it, head over to Twitch. At Apocalypto412. Make sure you follow my Twitch. I'm working my way up to affiliate on there.
Into it.
Alright, what do you got to say?
Dynasty Warriors Origins is the latest in a long line of muso games that has defined the genre for years. The game was released across several platforms, including PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC, with the full promise of next-gen graphics and a much-needed refresh of the Dynasty Warriors formula.
I've been playing Dynasty Warriors on consoles since 2001. Started on a PS2, then went over to the Xbox 360, and then I've stayed on Xbox up until Dynasty Warriors Origins. This is the first one I'm playing on PC. And I have to tell you, these graphics, they're absolutely amazing.
Shoot already! Shoot and take them out!
In fact, if you've been playing the series for a long time, you're going to find that Origins mixes things up in ways that are both refreshing and rewarding, while staying true to the core mechanics that made the franchise popular in the first place.
The core mechanics have also changed from Dynasty Warriors game to Dynasty Warriors game. While the premise of 1 versus 1,000 and epic large-scale battles have stayed the same, a lot of the fundamental mechanics that we now have in this Dynasty Warriors have been implemented throughout the years.
The game opens with an entirely new character and storyline, which I have to say is a bold but exciting move. The main character, known as the Wanderer, has lost their memories and is thrust into the Three Kingdoms period. With a past shrouded in mystery, the Wanderer becomes embroiled in the historic battles and political intrigue that defined the era.
Koei's transition to going from playing the heroes of the Three Kingdoms to a nameless wanderer, I think was a fantastic move. They could not have done a better job at reinventing this series. This gives you no ties and no notions on what you have to do. and it allows you to experience these battles from a third-hand perspective. It just brings the whole story together. And the fact that, I don't know if he's going to mention it in this video or not, but that you get to choose which kingdom you go with and which heroes you want to fight with as companions, though they are limited. I still think it was a great touch.
As the story unfolds, you find yourself aligning with the various factions, Wei, Shu, and Wu, as they attempt to unite China or claim dominance.
So he did bring it up.
I'll admit, at first, I was a little skeptical about how the story would unfold with a new protagonist, but I was quickly hooked. The personal stakes of uncovering the Wanderer's identity added an extra layer of depth to the plot, making the journey much more engaging than I initially expected.
Alright, so I'm not exactly there yet. I'm kind of taking my time playing it. I really want to enjoy the story for my first playthrough. But I do have to say, not being in line to any kingdoms, as I said previously, fantastic way to go. It leaves so many options open.
The game's open-world design really changes the way you experience the story. Rather than being confined to a set sequence of levels, the world is expansive and filled with side quests, exploration opportunities, and hidden secrets.
Yes, they took the best part from Dynasty Warriors 9. There were some good parts of Dynasty Warriors 9. Overall, though, the game was terrible. But they did bring in the open world concept from Dynasty Warriors 9. And they kind of fleshed it out a little bit while also limiting it in this game. So they gave you different provinces that you could explore. And they also give you your main battles, your medium battles, and your skirmishes to allow you to work on different stuff. And they allow you to do it all at your own pace.
This open-world environment allows you to immerse yourself fully in the ancient world of China, giving you the freedom to explore at your own pace. You can tackle the main story missions whenever you like, or you can get lost in the many side quests and optional activities, which is perfect if you're the kind of player who loves to explore every nook and cranny of a game world.
And this is why it's also taking me a little bit longer to do my own playthrough for it, because I'm exploring everything. I do skirmishes to work on my trainings. I do all the medium battles. I go talk to everybody. I do everything I possibly can do to get the fully fleshed out version of the game.
Now, before we dive deeper into the gameplay mechanics and all that fun stuff, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You won't want to miss out on all the awesome content we've got coming your way. Okay, now let's talk about gameplay, because that's where Dynasty Warriors really shines. The series has always been known for its epic, fast-paced combat, where you take on hordes of enemies with flashy combos and devastating special attacks. In Origins, the combat is still just as intense, but the developers have added some interesting new mechanics that give the game a fresh feel. The weapon system...
Before he continues, the weapon system in this game, phenomenal. They give you 9 or 10 different choices for weapons. They also leave it open to add more weapons into the next game.
Has been overhauled, and now you can switch between a variety of weapons on the fly, each with its own unique moveset and combos. This adds a layer of strategy that's new to the series, forcing you to think about your choices more carefully during battle. You're no longer just smashing.
It not only adds a different layer of strategy, it also adds in your ability to continue working on your proficiencies. So if you get the proficiency for the sword up, and you want to work on a spear, seeing if you can get that one up for the last like 100 that you need, you can go ahead and switch during the middle of a battle.
Mashing buttons. You need to plan your attacks, time your dodges, and carefully manage your resources. Another standout feature.
Yeah, while you do need to do all those things also, it still kind of is coming down to the fundamental mechanics of smash that button. Because at the end of the day, it is a Musou game. Musou games do rely heavily a lot on smashing the attack buttons, but he is absolutely right in this. You need to time your parries correctly to break their guards. You need to evade attacks. You need to use your SP attacks for certain ones. And you need to also watch out because you can get surrounded by a lot of enemies.
Feature in the gameplay is the ability to command your troops in the midst of battle. The game still allows you to take on thousands of enemies at once, but now you can issue commands to your soldiers to influence the battlefield. Want to send a group of archers to rain down arrows from a distance? You can do that. Need to direct cavalry to charge down enemy formations? You've got it. This added layer of strategy makes Origins feel more dynamic, as you're not just focusing on your own character, but also managing a full-scale battle in real time. It's a fantastic...
See, I haven't gotten that far yet in my playthrough. I do know from the demo, they gave us some soldiers that we could. They called them guards. Last Dynasty Warriors game that had guards in it, I believe, was 3 or 4. I could be wrong, but I do like the idea of having your own little group of soldiers that you can command to do a whole bunch of different things.
Change, and it makes each battle feel more like a massive coordinated effort than just a bunch of random clashes. Graphically, Dynasty Warriors Origins looks absolutely stunning. The game uses the full power of next-gen consoles, and it really shows. The character models are incredibly detailed, with realistic facial expressions and fluid animations that make each character feel alive. The battlefields are vast, sprawling across massive landscapes, and they're filled with intricate details that add to the immersion.
The character models in this game are fantastic. If you go back and play the older Dynasty Warriors games, right from the beginning, they all kind of look older. Unless you have ones that die off relatively quickly in the story, then they gave them younger ones. But in this one, they redid every character model. They gave them all younger appearances. And it also leaves the door open for Koei to redo the character models a little bit for the next game as well.
I spent a lot of time just exploring, and the sheer beauty of the environments kept me coming back. From lush forests to desolate, war-torn landscapes, each area is unique and beautifully rendered. The game also features dynamic weather, which can change rapidly during a battle, affecting both the visual aesthetics and your gameplay strategy.
So I haven't dealt much with the dynamic weather yet, but again, like I said, I'm only in Chapter 2 right now. I have about 15 hours into the game, but I would assume with the dynamic weather, it would be more or less like, you know, the tornadoes during the Yellow Turban Rebellion. As you mentioned, rain. I'm wondering if there would be areas of the map eventually, maybe not in this game, maybe in the next one, where you'd be fighting a battle in snow. I think that would be a nice little touch.
The sudden onset of rain, for instance, might affect visibility, or the wind might blow debris across the field, creating a temporary hazard. It's these small touches that make the world feel alive, and it's clear that a lot of effort went into creating this beautiful and immersive experience. In terms of specifications, the game runs beautifully across all platforms. On the PS5, I experienced fast load times, smooth frame rates, and the stunning visual effects that come with next-gen gaming. There are no noticeable dips in performance, even during large-scale battles where hundreds of soldiers are clashing at once. On PC, I was able to run the game on ultra settings without any issues, and it looks gorgeous on a high-resolution display. The game is...
I agree. Game looks amazing, runs phenomenally. I'm running my game on my 1440p monitor on ultra settings. I also do have a beast of a computer that I just built. But again, no problems, no issues. It's a few little minor bugs here and there. Not sure if he's going to touch on them. But game overall, one of the best game releases we've had in a long, long time.
It's been optimized for all systems, so no matter what platform you're playing on, you're going to get an exceptional visual experience. As for the sound design, Dynasty Warriors Origins nails it. The soundtrack is a mix of traditional Chinese instruments and cinematic orchestral pieces that perfectly capture the grand scale of the battles. The music swells during epic moments and transitions into quieter, more reflective melodies during moments of rest or exploration.
Dynasty Warriors has always nailed the music. Always. But I do have to say, they went above and beyond in this game with the music.
The sound effects during combat are equally impressive. The clang of swords, the thundering hooves of cavalry, and the roars of soldiers all come together to create a chaotic, immersive battle environment. The voice acting is solid with both English and Japanese voice options, which is always a nice touch for fans who prefer the original Japanese performances. Overall, the sound is one of the standout features of the game and adds a lot to the atmosphere. One of the most important factors to consider when evaluating a game is the price, and Dynasty Warriors Origins comes in at $69.99.
$70 for the game. I don't think it's bad. It's standard across the industry now. I did go for the $90 option so I can get the early access, because I don't have a lot of time to play, especially with being a father. So there's a couple nights where I'm not able to stream. But even with the 3-day early access, this game, it's so beautiful. There's so much content. There's so much to do, explore, just look at, that I find myself 15 hours into the game. I'm only maybe halfway through chapter 2.
I'll admit that this price point initially made me hesitant, but after playing the game, I can confidently say that it's well worth the money. The game offers a significant amount of content, from the main story to the side quests and optional challenges. If you're the type of player who loves exploring every corner of a game world, you'll get at least 50 hours of content from this title, possibly more. The replayability is high, especially if you're interested in tackling different factions or exploring alternative outcomes in the story.
Yes, there are, at least, in my opinion, 6 different times to play this game. You have your initial playthrough, and you get to choose your initial kingdom. Then you have the other 2 kingdoms to play through. And then you go back through, and you could play through each of the kingdoms again to experience their alternate path. Like saving Sun Jian, saving Sun Ce.
That said, the game isn't perfect. There are a few minor bugs here and there, mostly related to AI pathfinding, and I did experience some occasional frame rate drops during particularly chaotic battles with a large number.
See, I've never experienced any of the frame rate drops. But the AI pathfinding, I have experienced. Now, I don't know if he's going to mention it, but Kyoei has already said that they are going to go ahead and put out patches to try to fix this.
Number of troops on screen. These issues didn't ruin the overall experience for me, but they were noticeable at times. Fortunately, the developers have already announced plans to release updates to address these bugs, and I'm confident that the issues will be ironed out in time. In terms of length, Dynasty Warriors Origins offers a solid campaign that should take you around 30 to 40 hours to complete, depending on how much you dive into side content. If you're a completionist and want to see everything the game has to offer, you could easily spend 50-60 hours exploring, taking on side quests, and collecting all the hidden items. The game strikes a nice balance between offering a rich, meaty single-player experience without overstaying its welcome. As for multiplayer, Dynasty Warriors Origins is primarily a single-player game. There are
So 60 hours per playthrough. Let's go ahead and say 60. If you do all 3 kingdoms, so let's say your first playthrough 60 hours, let's say about 40 hours for each consecutive playthrough, you're looking at a minimum of somewhere between 140 150 hours to do all 3 kingdoms for $70. Now, multiplayer, I'm sure he's going to touch on this, but I personally enjoy the fact that there are no multiplayer elements in this game. It leaves the door open for the next game to go ahead and put in multiplayer elements, start introducing them slowly, see what the fans really enjoy.
No traditional online multiplayer modes, but there are some aspects of the game that feel like multiplayer experiences. For example, you'll see other players' units on the battlefield, and you can even command NPCs in ways that mimic cooperative play. However, if you're someone who's looking for a fully fleshed out multiplayer experience, you might be a little disappointed. The focus here is very much on the single player experience. To sum it all up, Dynasty Warriors Origins is a fantastic addition to the series. The open world design, refined combat mechanics, stunning visuals, and immersive sound all come together to create an experience that is both familiar and fresh. The story is engaging, the battles are epic, and there's enough content to keep you busy for hours.
As a single player game, one of the more phenomenal single player games we have right now. Now, I know Musou games are not for everyone, but they do not need to have a multiplayer in these games. I understand the multiplayer is actually kind of popular, but just for a single player game, it's absolutely phenomenal. It allows you to do what you want at your own pace. Maybe for the next game, we can go ahead and add in maybe a co-op that you could play with a friend.
Yes, there are a few minor bugs and performance hiccups, but these issues don't detract from the overall enjoyment of the game. If you're a fan of the Dynasty Warriors series, you're going to love this game. And if you're new to the series, this is a great place to start. It's accessible for newcomers, but deep enough for longtime fans to appreciate. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to DhaNi Infinity for more reviews, gameplay, and all things.
Overall, I absolutely agree with his review. It is a fantastic game. It does a lot in revamping the Dynasty Warriors series. Battles are phenomenal. Graphics are gorgeous. Storyline so far is phenomenal. And they also break down each chapter, not just giving you the main battles, like Sishui Gate, Hulao Gate, the final battle against the Yellow Turbans. It gives you smaller battles in your medium battles. It also gives you little skirmishes, just to kind of bring the world alive that you can do. Then you have your big battles like Sishui Gate, Hulao Gate. Overall, phenomenal game. 100% would recommend trying this if you like these type of games. That's it for the reaction to this review. Phenomenal job. Remember, DhaNi Infinity did this review. If you like it, make sure to go over and give him a like. Also, guys, make sure you hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button. Head over to my Twitch. It's @Apocalypto412.